Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Okay, once again friends, we are explaining the NPTEL module on handling large scale data using Stata. We are on the lecture explaining data or managing data in Stata number 3rd. We are still continuing with the very basic commands of Stata with the original data. Now, in the last lecture, we discussed many important aspects of string destringing, okay, of the variables, and replace, recode and replace, and that is also important, especially when your variable is numeric or in category or in string. Okay. So, accordingly we suggested you go by recode for numeric variable and replace for string variable. Then further operations, then string to destring, those we have already suggested earlier. Now, it is important to understand like some I mean in a large data set, usually so many informations are cropped up together, and so many information may not be important or useful for a individual researcher. Individual researcher may extract a very little portion out of it for his or her use, or for publication, or for writing a paper. So, it is very important for the researcher to understand what variable to keep and what variable to drop. Okay. Though it seems that keep is opposite of drop and drop is obviously opposite of keep, but it is not obvious in Stata. Why am I saying keeping variable, that does not mean it is dropping, or dropping variable, that does not mean it is keeping. Why? I mean it is very important to note, like I want to get I wanted to keep some variable, okay. It will keep and automatically drop others, that does not mean it is dropping, okay. It drop others, but keeping, your focus here is to keep, okay. What do you mean by that? Your focus is to keep some variables, but if alternatively if you just use drop, in that case drop other variables and keep that, it is not that so easy. If you know that so many variables are to be dropped, okay, so how many you will enter one by one. So, in that case keep is important. So, just opposite, though in rough sense or in true sense even it is opposite, but in command the uses are actually different. You want keep sometimes and you want drop sometimes. Alternatively it is not suggested. You please mark the difference while I will tell you once again. Like you have 5000 variables, okay. You wanted to keep only 50 out of it, okay. In that case keep is very important, you know the 50, all right. And reverse, I mean again I am trying to use the reverse word. You want to drop a specific variable, not the entire, okay. So, you just drop by taking the name of those variable and it will automatically keep, okay. The opposite is true, but you have to appropriately choose the right command. Just keep is not enough, just drop is not enough. Let us understand the nitty-gritties of it further. The original data set may contain variables you are not interested or may not want to analyze. It is always good to get rid of those at the first hand, okay. You need to get rid of those non-necessary variables. Doing so will also reduce the amount of memory, and it will actually reduce the memory of the or the byte space, so that your operation will be faster and smooth, and it will not hang also in between. So, even disk space requirement will be going to be less when you have limited your data as per your requirement, and make this make anything you do with it run that much faster. Please take a note that it always keep a copy of your original data set while you operate these two command, because if you dropped already, so those variables are actually dropped, is not going to be retrieved. So, if you have already kept an additional file, so now if by any wrong attempts you have dropped, but you want further those variables further, that may be very problematic, you cannot able to retrieve that. So, it is always suggested that please keep a copy of it, then later on you can delete. Okay. All right. So, simply keep, I can show you, like you type keep, is not so important, keep KEEP, then these number of variables, then if I can show you for your understanding. Now, it will drop. For example, here like KEEP. Okay. Now, if I just keep here like this, I have to keep more, okay, because I will be reusing those later. So, some numeric, then some numeric data I want. Okay. So, now if I do that, it will keep those variables where I have entered the keep command, and rest of the variables are actually dropped. You can mark the difference what I have kept, only now those variables are visible. Similarly, if you drop, it will drop only those specific variable with the name, rest will be kept. Okay. Now, let me proceed further. You can tell Stata to either keep what you want or drop what you do not want, at the end results will be the same. Same in the sense keep, it will drop others, drop, it will keep others. All right. Now, keep variable name, I told you already, this command will keep only listed variables, that I told you. Okay. Now, it is interesting to note that you can also keep or drop observations, okay, not just variables. Like keep if variable double equal to 1, okay, like within the variable, when you know that there are different categories, okay, 3-4 categories, 1, 2, 3, 4 are there. You only wanted to continue with one, not others are not going to be useful for you. For example, in our data set, we have a a variable called gender, okay, male, female, then transgender. Okay. If I want to analyze for female entrepreneurship, this is the data on entrepreneurship. I wanted to analyze for women entrepreneurship. So, why should I continue other two categories? Okay. So, in that case, I will only simply give the command keep if, okay, keep if that variable gender, if it is there. I think we have already filter or not, let me check. So, we have already filter for gender. So, already we have taken one by entering the keep if format. So, in general, if you enter double equal to 1 or even any variable, you wanted to go by that particular category, I have already given you the example. So, it will continue with that gender, okay, or that particular category. Similarly, drop, if one and one is not important, but the others are important, other categories are important. There are education, for example, or 5-6 entries are there, you only wanted to drop 3 as the category, others will be there. So, only double equal to 3 if you make it, drop if education attainment, if that is the variable name, double equal to 3, it will only drop that 3, others will be there. Okay. Now, let me proceed further. So, let us have a track of the work already done in Stata. We already mentioned a bit on log files. We are trying to have a track of the log files once again, or track of our work through the log files. As I told you from the beginning that you please start with a log file, okay, like here. Let me open this, then okay, like this, what I will do, I will open this first. Okay. Log file is very important for us to work. You simply click here file, then log, begin. What will give you? You can save with a name, okay, with a name. Any name you just type, and the option you can pick up from the save as type. If you go by the by default option, it will give you the same window and the same type of result which is visible here. If you go by the .log file, it actually gives in text format, okay, in text format. I already guided you that text format. Let me do it for you with a name. There is a okay. Let me type it. For example, it is NSS. Then I am deliberately doing a capital letter. NSS. Then practice. Okay. I have followed a camel format, okay, camel renaming format, NSS practice. If you simply save, it is it is there already saved in our file. Now, you can NSS practice is the file here. If I just open it in our it is already open. Now, look at here, mark this carefully. I am putting my cursor here, logon. Logon is open, logon in text, okay, it is visible. Now, when you exit, or there are some space, okay, let me, okay, there are various ways of understanding the log file. Either what I have done, I have opened through the pointer method, I clicked and opened the log file. Another option for you is log using file name. Log, you just simply type log using file name, then text replace. For example, I can do it right now. Let me just come back. I'll come back and clarify to you. Okay, log using. Let me do another one. Log using file name. Okay, so here log. Okay. Log close the earlier replace, I will go by the replace also, that is another option, okay, that is fine. Now, log, we have already closed the earlier log because that might have created problem. So, I will go by log using, then file name, file name earlier we have given a file name. Now, if I give another file name like NSS, now let me operate through a underscore path, okay. NSS 1, any name, okay, 1, 2, NSS maybe 1, okay. If I do by this, then like here, all right, just a minute. Now, one option SMCL is important. Either you enter at SMCL, if you do not enter SMCL, it will, if you do not enter text, it will by default take SMCL. If you take text, TEXT, okay, it will take you the option called log file, log version, okay, log on the way I have shown you, okay. then text replace. Any replace is the word you do if there is an existing log file. If no existing log file is there, no need to go by, since we have already closed that log file. So, no need to take replace, okay, only text. So, now what is open? Now, look at this, log and text is open. Now, this is your log file. So, since this is already on, I will show you how this is, all our command in between are actually going to save, except the graph. Okay. Graph usually saves in different, opens in different window, we need to manually save those graphs. Okay. Let me go by our understanding for your clarity. I am reading through, if there is any important point is missing, you may mark it carefully. So, a log file is a permanent record of everything we do in Stata, that is basically manipulating data, syntax, output plus error messages. Error message I told you, this generally pops up in the window, in the same window, okay, and with red color, and those error can be actually, we will tell you how to handle those errors while to save those logs, but the log file actually saves everything, okay, saves everything, your errors as well as your right command, your correct commands also, or correct syntax also, command syntax also. Why errors are important? Because in future or any another point of time, if you wanted to check what kind of steps I have gone through, your errors or the steps which were erroneous actually helps the reader or the researcher very quickly to understand the right command or the right approach. So, errors are also important to save. So, log command, the log file actually saves the errors as well. Okay. When we open a log, Stata writes all results to both the results window and to the file you specify. To open a log file, use the command we just already made. Okay. Like replace is there, if you go by the overwriting another one, you need to actually replace the first one, you need to actually replace the first one and then you go for a new one. Text and replace are options here, like as I already told you, text, if you have given text or in the clickbase method .log format, otherwise in the syntax based command, if you have entered text, then you will be saved with a plain text format, which can be viewed as an in an editor such as Notepad or an word processor such as MS Office or MS Word. Okay. So, replace specifies that the file is to be overwritten if already exist. Okay. All right. A starter log can be saved in either of two formats that I told you, SMCL and .log. Let me proceed, I already clarified. It is possible to translate the format to your log from one format to other format that are readable by other applications also. So, be careful, the Stata log files do not record pop-up graphs, as I just mentioned. Graphs, if you have any command on graphs window comes separately, and the log files do not save the graphs, you need to manually save your graphs separately. And these do not record pop-up graphs or help windows, graphs have to be saved separately or explicitly. Okay. So, now capture log close is also important, this closes any log files that you might have accidentally left open. So, you need to go by this command. To close the log file that you have opened, by any accidental reason, if you have opened the log file that you need to close, you please go by capture log close, it will automatically close the in between log files. Otherwise, simply exit the Stata, okay, exit Stata, it will actually close, or log close will actually close the log file. So, we have already saved a log file, I will show you at the end how other commands are actually in between saved. Okay, let me just operate like it will, I will show you how those have been saved automatically. state, if I just enter, it has given you some summary statistics or code book which we did earlier for our analysis. Code book of a particular variable, let it be sector. If I simply enter, it saves with the other details. Now let me let me open the log file which we already created, and since log is on, log text is on, it is not closed yet. I am just highlighting here. Let me open that. It is now in our so the log file we created is an NSS practice. What did I see? NSS _1. It is by default take saved. It is saved here within Stata 15, since Stata 15 was opened. So it by default took us to consider the space in within the Stata folder. Okay, and these are the operation we made just now. Code book we summary statistics we derived, and also code book we entered. So it has already saved for us. Okay, and let us keep it open till it is continuing. All right. Now another aspect, as I told you, like here in the left hand side review is there. I am going to use this. I want to use these are all our commands, an experiment we made in between. We need to save those commands. So do file is going to be useful. There are two approaches to do that, to go by the commands, that is called do file. We need to save those commands. Log files also saves the commands. But results are also automatically saved. The number of pages are actually very huge, but in case of do file you can save the commands in a very compact manner, and that too you can also execute or run from the do file. If you run from there, execute from there, you can derive the result, but from the log file you cannot run. You need to manually copy some of the commands and run it. Okay, so do file is very important. A do file is just a set of Stata commands typed in a plain text file. There are two approaches to deal with the do file. One is launch your Stata, like start from there, from the start button as I told you, and on the review window right click anywhere, select all. You can also remove unsuccessful command. Let me just start with this. Okay. Like you have to first click open a do file. Okay. For your knowledge, we have already defined a do file. Let me first open our do file. Our do file. Now it is here my do. Okay, my underscore do file. Now it has already been opened. Now look at so many commands are there. Look at the do file we created for our use, for our clarity. I will guide you in between what are those do file and what it contains and how it works. So it will very clearly guide you to execute the command, to understand the command, some annotation to our command. So many things are there. I will guide you in between. You can also open the do file from here by clicking here. Okay, new do file. If you just click it, it will also open. Okay. Now what I will do, I will operate. I will tell you how to do it. Once you have defined a do file, you can simply copy. Okay. What I will do, you simply here. What I will do, it erase all the wrong on the review side. If you click on this part here in the explanation mark, reverse. The errors symbol is there. Once you click there, just put a click here. It has actually erased all the errors. Now you can copy entire one, all the commands, and right click on it and paste it. Okay. If you right click on it, it will show you that you copy all. Okay, like this, select all, select all, and in the do in the do select all and send selected to the do editor. Okay. If you send it, it automatically actually saves. All right, it automatically saves with a do file, whatever the command we already run, that is saved. Now let me proceed further. Like this is one approach that we have guided. Another approach is from the main menu at the top right, launch the do, like file editor, start typing your command. The way I have shown you, we can type our command for new files or on do file editor window. From main menu at the top left, click on the file icon, browse to locate, and OK. Like like what I have just shown you. So, here file, then a do. Okay. If you click on the do, it will prompt you to save, okay, and save with a name. Once you save it, another do file will be created for you. Now, once the do file you created, you can actually copy those and paste it, or you can manually enter as per your requirement. I am going to guide you how to enter, okay, in our successive slides. In another 2-3 slides, we are going to complete the session of understanding do and other operations. Now, use of comments and annotations, especially in the do file, which is very important for advanced users. Okay. Even the basic users, those are very handy with this, they can smoothly operate Stata. It is always a good idea to annotate your do files with explanatory comments that provide the gist of what you are trying to do. One thing I wanted to carefully guide you, that use the asterisks. Okay. Asterisks, these annotations are going to be very useful in Stata. Asterisk, the star mark which we have shown in the first bullet point, that indicates a comment, okay, but not a command. I will just show you. It's indicate we have already defined that. Look at this. Here is an asterisk, okay. Asterisk, but started with another one. I am going to guide you. But asterisk, another one I will just guide you. Asterisk opening a Stata data set in like okay. I will tell you. Let me first tell you what are others windows. Asterisk, double slash, and slash asterisk in between, then asterisk slash, what it indicates. Let me first clarify, then we will understand. Asterisk simply indicate comment, not a command. Okay. And whereas if there is double forward slash, not the backward slash, this is used to indicate that everything that follows to the end of that line is a comment and should be ignored by Stata. If this is there, that should be actually ignored by Stata. Okay, let me first cover that, then we will go by this. And if single forward slash with a star mark in between a text, okay, this end with star and close with a forward slash, this is used to indicate that all the text between the opening and the closing, which may be a few characters or may span several lines, is a comment to be also ignored by Stata. Okay. This type of comment can be used anywhere, even in the middle of a line in your do file which that we created. If you have given this within these entries, forward slash star your comment, then ended with star and forward slash, that Stata is going to ignore it for sure. Similarly, the double forward slash is basically, that is indicate everything that follows to the end of that line is a comment. Okay. This type of comment can be used anywhere in the middle of a line, is sometimes used to comment out code. Okay. Basically, code you need to clarify about the code, you need to comment about the code. You do not know if a code is very specific, you do not know how to understand it, you can comment out it. Okay. Another one, let me just clarify, after that I will show you in the do file. When you are typing on the command window, a command can be as long as needed. In a do file, you will probably want to break long commands into lines for better readability. In that case, you may use triple slash or the triple forward slash. To indicate a stata that a command continues on the next line you have continued a command, but command is pretty longer, it is very difficult to read. Simply you enter that, you start with from enter a triple forward slash and you start with the next line, okay, and that basically breaking the command, and stata reads in continuity. These 3 slash does mean that stata actually reads in continuity. Okay. So, last couple of only last slide is left. Let me show you once how we actually opened that, and how that reads some minimum aspect. Rest of the details we will clarify later. Okay. Other entries we will certainly operate while we will be discussing. Like, look at this carefully. Forward slash here, then star, then we have written something, then star, then ended with a forward slash. That means stata is going to ignore it for sure. Okay, it is not at all a command. Now, similarly, double forward slash, it's starting with a double forward slash, stata is also equally going to ignore. Okay. Now, triple slash we have not used here, we will use it certainly when we do require for a long command in our operation. Triple slash, if to break that, if such a bigger page is there, our command still continues the same command. If a regression command is there, there are so many variables you are still continuing with it. You need to break it somewhere. You need to break it to a next line. You just add forward triple slash. Okay, that will actually continue. Stata is going to continue that particular command. If you select entire and execute, it will operate. Okay, we will clarify later on. Now, the last slide to be discussed at this moment is that which is very important also, do not forget to save. Okay, do not forget to save, otherwise Stata may not also save data. You can save the modified data to disk using the save with the file name command. Okay, save then file name. If you do that, it will save. Otherwise, if you close it, it also asks for save. You need to save with that file name, or you create your file name. And simultaneously exiting the stata is important. I am going to do that at the end. With that, we will close it, but exit simply exit is also going to exit your stata. Note that sometimes stata refuse to exit because of the changes made in between. Or ask us for confirmation. In that case, if you want to save, okay, the save which I just said, you can save with a new created file, or if you do not want to save, then simply exit. It will clear all the command, and then otherwise in the through the pointer also, from the drop down menus also, from the file there is also a exit. Okay, here exit. If you go by that, you can also close it. Another easy option those advanced users usually do with their if they are very handy with the keyboard, Alt F4. Usually we shut down our computer, Alt F4 is also going to close it. Okay, so our lecture is going to be closed with the one, if I just close my window. I am just going to close with this, our lecture is going to be closed. Thank you very much. Now it has popped up. Okay, I am going to close it. Now it asks for save. Since I do not want to save it, I will go by my own data phrase. So, I do not save. If you want to save, it will ask for a save. So, do not save, and data memory have been changed, then it is actually saved. With this, let me stop here. Thank you.